How's my work going, David?
It's looking good.
And then I already aligned the cam gear, so it's got the nice little dots right there. So when you first put it in, you put in dot to dot. Not too scary.
How we all look on the inside.
Dum, 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 dum. New Duromax 7 horsepower electric start right out of the box, and we're going to be opening her up and taking out the governor. First step is going to be flipping it on its side like this. So it's a lot better to remove your governor when the engine is brand new, so that way you don't have any oil in there. Only the residual oil that's already in the engine itself. So there's 6 bolts here on the crankcase end. So the gasket should be new. Shouldn't have to replace those. Just put it back on nicely. Alright, so starting off here, you're going to need a 10mm socket. Take off these bolts. Once you got your bolts off, we're going to remove this guy off, revealing your governor gear in there. So we're going to remove that plastic piece that is down in there. This is the camshaft gear, and then we're also going to remove the low pressure oil sensor in there. To get to the low pressure oil switch, you're going to want to remove this guy first, and it pops right up. But remember, you got to line it up correctly when you get back with that little dot right there. And that's your low pressure oil switch. We're going to remove those bolts, and we're gonna nip it off right there. And what that'll do is it'll give you a little bit extra oil capacity, and then when you tilt the motor, it won't tip off and shut off your engine. And those bolts right there are 8mm for the low pressure oil switch. Now we got the low pressure oil switch unbuttoned. We're gonna nip this guy at the bud right there. So it's nipped at the bud right there. Come right out. Don't need that thing anymore. Now we're going to lean it over the table a little bit, and we're going to remove the tank bolts to get to the governor bolt on top. So you're going to need to remove the exhaust, this throttle control lever, and the tank to get to your governor arm. Then you're going to pull out this little pin right here after you've taken out your governor bolt right there. Like so. Alright, so we take a flathead screwdriver. And it will pop off like that. Then you can now bend this guy out of the way, and now you have access to your governor arm. And we're going to remove that little plastic piece down in there. Once you remove these two, this washer and that plastic piece, there's a ring down there to pull out the rest of the governor gear. Most people, to remove it, choose violence. So I'm going to try to hit it with a hammer and a screwdriver and pop it off. Another washer that you need to take out. The best way to do it is with a magnetic screwdriver, but I think I'm going to have to use 2 screwdrivers, like chopsticks, and take it out. And ta-da! No more washer down in there. Alright. So now time for the reassembly. Now you can reassemble the arm here. So this will hold it on and keep that tucked out of the way. Some people remove this entirely, but it's not 100% necessary. I want to reuse this as the throttle linkage, so I decided to keep that in. Now, when you put your cam gear back in, which just drops right back in and up, so it just drops in, drops back down. You want those 2 dots lined up because that's going to be your timing.
This rib down the center, that if you were to drain the oil, you'd get still 1/4 inch pocket here, but it won't drain this section.
So it's best to drain from
the starter side.
From that side, from the starter side?
You'll be able to drain whatever is left here, but you still have this. It's almost best to drain both sides if you're doing a break-in, just to get any you know, fine metals from the initial run-in procedure. So yeah, it's almost worth doing both sides.
So unplug both drain holes when you're changing your oil.
Yeah, it's a big pocket compared to that side.
Since this is all brand new and hasn't been heated up yet, we can reuse the gasket. Gasket's looking good, and there's no excess anything on the crankcase here. All right, try to tap it down with the wood end of and it looks like we're all tapped down or aligned, so I can start bolting this up. And what I've been told is to do it cross as you're tightening from bottom to up to get it evenly tightened down. So cross tightening pattern. I don't want to crank them down too tight. There's probably some actual torque specs to this, but I'm gonna say that tight. And a cross pattern. Like so. Alright, and then we're going to remove this right here. Alright, and then you will no longer need that piece.
I don't got one, man. I'm all out.
Oh well, we'll order one. And we're going to shorten this spring and we're going to wrap it around that tank bolt so that it's pulling from this side. Assembled here. We did the free exhaust mod to help free up some space in here. Next step on this is we're going to remove the key start panel and do a push button electric start. David's actually going to be doing some charge coils on here.
See what amperage upgrades we could do for it.
Which I think it's like 3 amps.
It could be up to 10 on that system, but we don't know on these smaller engines how much draw or you know, you don't want to lose too much horsepower. You only got 7, you don't got too much to spare. So, but I think we should be able to do tests with just disconnecting it out of circuit. Should not put the draw on the engine, and we could do run tests just connecting it on and off and see if there's a noticeable difference and see what amperage you're going to get out of it.
All right, So more to come from the Duromax 7 horsepower here.